Hello, YouTubers. Joe Kersey and Paul Bennett here on Monday, March 28th, 2016 at 1913 Eastern Daylight Time. Happy Easter Monday. We'll let that drain properly later. Now, Paul's been kind of sick today. He's had the pukes. You seem to be feeling better though.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that covers that.
He's stirred up all day.
Well, yeah, beat shit in your pants and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Or the old, where you have the diarrhea and then you get the wastebasket in front of you while you puke at the same time. Sort of the double header. Yeah, the double header emptying. Yeah, no, you weren't that bad. But you've not looked like you felt good all day.
I didn't.
Well, no, obviously you didn't know. You obviously didn't. Well, these things happen from time to time. There's a lot of that stuff going around. I mean, there are a couple people, several people at church here in the last week. It's in the week, and actually my grandson Carter here about 2 weeks ago had stuff like this. Fortunately, I've managed to ward it off with my powerful immune system, primed by growing up on a farm and without parents that were obsessed with cleanliness in all things whatsoever. And also a great deal of laissez-faire attitudes toward things that you ate and how you stored them. Now, I watched my last video and I made a comment that says, oh, I'll just enter the numbers in the PDF form and it will go real fast. When I was doing for my federal taxes. Well, you can do it. The state has a PDF form you can enter numbers in too, but I haven't gotten to do that yet. But that's going to be fast. Oh, did I say that? Maybe it won't be. In any case, so today I woke up at 4:30. Now I'd had like 6.5 hours sleep. Any more now, that's about what I get, and or just seem to need. And so I indeed did just start in entering the numbers in the PDF form for the federal taxes. And see, my problem is when I get entering, I just don't use my penciled in copies, my worksheet copies. I have them, and I enter them in. But then every now and again I get puzzled by something and I think, oh, I better read that. And I go back and I sort of, I kind of am doing the calculations in my head. And while I generally don't find a problem, fortunately, because otherwise I'd have to redo the whole shooting match again. I did find when I had done a calculation, one of the calculations involved a number. It was 1520 decimal point 51. There's $1,522.51. And when I entered it on the calculator, when I did the calculation, I entered it as 1522.15. So I just transposed the two numbers. So there's a 36-cent error. Now, fortunately, it was involved tax-exempt interest, so it wasn't anything that had been, this. The most that's going to happen is I've underpaid the feds by 10 cents. If they want a dime, I will gladly mail them a dime. Of course, what they'll do is they'll say, a year and a half later, they'll say, oh, you underpaid us, for a dime, and they'll have like $200 worth of penalties and interest on this dime underpaid. That's the way. That's a lot of times that's how ridiculous it gets sometimes. But it otherwise didn't change any major. It didn't change any significant calculations. Hell, it didn't even change any insignificant calculations to speak of. So that was my adventures in doing that. It took 4 hours to do the federal stuff. Good Lord. And I'm going to get nailed by the alternative minimum tax next year as well. But it won't be quite as bad because I won't have quite the capital gain I had this year. When the state comes in and confiscates your land, they call that a gain to you. Oh, what a gain it's been to have the state come in and confiscate my land. Oh, thank you. Oh. Well, I'm here, able to walk, breathe, talk, think clearly, and take nourishment. So I really have nothing to gripe about when you get right down to it. I don't live in a communist dictatorship. I live in kind of a politically correct dictatorship, but that's not done by the government so much as it's done. Well, actually, it is sometimes by the Department of Education. That's a useless thing here in the national level. Well, enough of that stuff. Now, last night, Skyped with Tony Pincham, and it was wonderful as always. We ended up sending each other presents. I sent him the Geneva Bible from the 1560 version and Tyndale's New Testament, the 1526 edition. And he sent me Jesus of Nazareth with Robert Powell. I think it's Robert Powell, I think, or Robert Powell, I think. So he's... And then tomorrow evening, Tuesday evening, Tony BZ is arriving back in Columbus from... well, he's been over in the Dayton area for a while, and then he's going to do a business trip up to Cleveland. He does consulting work. He does tech consulting work. And he may have a client up there that's going to hire him. And then I want to thank my new subscriber. Backside Fancier. And I also want to thank him for that wonderful sort of like channel picture he had on at least the original channel art I saw. We subscribe to a number of the channels in common, so that's always kind of fun. But I wasn't able to message him directly and thank him, so this will just have to suffice, I guess. Now, Paul had this letter from, well, it was somehow, it had to do with the him being able to continue his medical insurance under the COBRA Act. You're allowed to, if you pay for it, you're allowed to keep the same medical insurance policy you have for 18 months after you leave employment. And he had me read this letter after clearly puzzling over quite some time. You got that about 4 days ago, right? Saturday. You got Saturday. Well, that's 3 days ago. Yeah, it's sort of like, it's kind of like the third day. So very much like Jesus, Paul had me resurrect the meaning of this letter. And it was obscure to say the best. But it was clearer than a lot of this stuff, this nonsense, but it was still obscure. And I don't think my interpretive powers could have raised anybody from the dead, but anyway. I can't get a fucking smile out of this guy. He has one of the flattest affects of any human beings I've ever met in my life. In the land of the flat affect, the guy with a chuckle is king. Oh, wait a minute. Now I've got a competitor. We discussed various options about, whether we could, pay for the insurance or go on to the healthcare.gov, healthcare.gov, healthcare.gov. Now that's an oxymoron if there ever was one. And the thing is, the questions were such that, of course, you can't lie, obviously, but it's essentially, he'll be able to get some Social Security in August, probably. Maybe, well, it'll start in September. If he chooses to take it when he'll be 62. So the way it stands right now is that he'll either be approved for Medicaid in Ohio. If he's not approved for Medicaid, then he can update his information, because by that time he will have lost his coverage and be in that sign-up period for COBRA. So that needs to be sort of, some decisions need to be taken in the next 2 days, 3 days. Actually, Tony BZ may have some advice about that that's useful, because because he's obviously exposed to that kind of stuff more than we've ever been. Okay. Well, okay. We watched some of the YouTube channels that we have in common. Now tomorrow I want to try and do my state income tax and write checks and then I'll do some estimated tax and write checks. I want to try to get that done because Tony BZ is gonna arrive here in the evening. So, and then my son's off this week. His school's off. They get off Monday, Thursday, and then they get off until the Sunday after Easter. So we'll have to see. I want to see who this is. I don't think it's going to be anybody. Oh, it's Henry Shaw. Let me see here. That's my judge buddy. Henry, how are you? Oh, did you like that account of the dropping the patient and operating on the wrong side as well? Oh yeah. I told these guys before the start of the case. I said, look at that X-ray. I said, look at his foot. I said, you're cutting into the wrong side. Oh, what are you doing? I said, I know enough to know that. Well, and of course I love the way they finessed it with the family. Yeah. And they did, and indeed they did. Yes. Okay. Well, no, you didn't say that. You didn't mention that. You're not having a detached retina or something, are you? Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, you don't want a horse with that. Yeah. 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 Oh. Oh, I hadn't realized that. I hadn't known that. Yeah. Oh, okay. Sure. Oh. Oh. Okay. All righty. Okay. I've heard the name. I don't. I don't know him. Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, it's a doctor's office. It doesn't matter if you're on time. You're going to sit and wait anyway. Yeah. Oh yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Whereabouts are you operating? I mean, what hospital? Oh, that's a new one on me. Okay. Well, okay. Well, I can find. Oh, Neil Wagner. Well, no, those freestanding ophthalmology joints are generally pretty nice. They really are. I mean, my mother went to one down in Bethesda North there in Cincinnati, and it was a very nice operation. Oh, well, no, it's lucrative. Before the Medicare clamped down on the cataract prices, I mean, these guys were charging $6,000 a side, but it dropped down to 1,800. I mean, it's not like these guys are and it's gotten faster and faster and faster and faster. At the time, it was $6,000, and they were paying for that. That was when you had to. That was before the lens implants, and and this, and you had to do a full open sort of eye, and the sandbag, and all this kind of stuff. But now it's uh, well, no, I mean, and they've gotten so they can stick these lenses in these little tiny. Some of these lenses now, they used to be hard glass lenses they stuck in, so they had to make a fairly big, arcuate incision around the cornea, but or the limbus, and more accurately, and now it's they can sort of ferret this little jelly thing in, and sort of, and then they've got like these little springs that hold them in. Now I don't know whether you had the little wires that were holding it in place or not. Oh, they're wires. They're little wires. They look like hairs, but they're wires. Yeah. 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 Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Now I assume they're going to replace it, not just reposition it. I imagine they're going to replace it because I mean, how long ago did you have this done? Oh well, hell's fire! I mean, they got better. They got better lenses now. I mean, you'll get a new lens. Oh yeah, you've had these things done in both eyes? Oh my, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, you don't want to have them done until they are awful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, my mother got hers done too early. Because all her friends had theirs done. See, yeah. Yeah. Oh well, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I have an early cataract in my left eye, and I've noticed that I probably am developing another early, I mean, even earlier one in my right eye. But until it's looking like I'm through a milk glass window, there's no way I'm going to have any of this stuff. I will say now that bright light, which has always bothered me, even as a kid, it really bothers me now. Yeah. Oh, if your actual focal point's moving around, that's got to be just that's just got to be. Oh, that's awful. Well, plus, you don't want that thing flopping around in your anterior chamber. Yeah. Oh, I remember. Dingle was. I was a resident when the younger Dingle was a resident. Well, one of the Dingles. The Dingle Dangles. Yeah, no. I was a resident. I was, sort of contemporaneous resident with a Dingle. Let's put it that way. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, sure. Well, thank you. No, I'm delighted. Well, Lord, I hope. Are they going to do both? Are they going to do both eyes? Just only in one eye? Oh, it's just the one eye. Oh, okay. Well, then sure. Then they don't need a horse with that. Yeah. Well, ideally, they never do both eyes at the same time anyway. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, and are you all stopped puking and so forth? Because Paul had the pukes today, or near pukes, and he's feeling a little better now. But he was sort of, he's still not feeling great. But see, I didn't realize you were having trouble seeing. On Saturday, were you having trouble seeing on Saturday night? Oh, okay. But it wasn't like you jumped down or got hit in the head or stopped suddenly and your seatbelt janked you or. Okay. Well, my daughter-in-law had a bit of a detached retina, but she was able to just sort of, by just sort of spending a lot of time lying down, and not doing her yoga and her usual active lifestyle, it reattached itself. I mean, she didn't need any sort of injection or air bubbles or this or that or gas injection to yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Of course, the tear, then the fluid get. What happens is it's okay if the fluid doesn't get underneath it and then make it flap out in the vitreous. Yeah. Oh, you'd have known it. Yeah. Oh well, yeah. You do the retrobulbar block, and it's either 25 or 27 gauge. Well, it is. Oh, it is. And see, I never did one of those. I never, a lot of the guys would do them for the ophthalmologist, but I thought, listen, there's no way I'm sticking a needle, and injecting, crap behind somebody, around their optic nerve. There's just no way. I mean, I. I know many ways to paralyze a person, but I do not want to blind somebody. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that little story. All righty. Bye bye. Well, that was fun. That was my judge buddy. He's having some. Well, he's having some. He said I didn't know he had cataract surgery. His lens has become dislodged in one eye, so he's going to have it replaced. Well, not well. It's going to be replaced, but in the replacing of it, will be repositioned properly and get a more firm. It's been in there since. Good Lord, it's been in there for 16 years. So I mean, he's had a good long run with this thing. So the other side, he's had both sides done. The other side's fine. He's had no trouble with it anyway. Let's put it that way. So, any thoughts? Well, he had just watched. I had just sent him the link to my video about when these guys operated on the wrong side and then proceeded to drop the patient, moving him off the table after they operated on the correct side, all in the same session. Cut into the wrong side, do the right side, move the patient off the table and drop him. I'll recapitulate the climax of that story. I said to these guys, what kind of smoke did you blow up the family's ass to square it away with them? He says, we told them that we made sure to check on the other side too to be sure there wasn't a fracture, and they bought it. It's a hip fracture, but they initially cut it to the wrong side. I told them there was the wrong side. I said, all you got to do is look at the damn x-ray. All you got to do is look at the patient with his foot flopped off to the side. On a hip fracture, the foot's always flopping out to the pointing outside. That's the side that's broken. Oh, you're just an anesthesiologist. I said, okay. I said, I bet you I got to find a fracture on that side. But they didn't. Anyway, I think on that note, I'm going to say bye-bye, YouTubers, and God bless us, everyone. All righty.